Hey everyone, it's Amanda, best-selling author of Make Money Your Honey and creator of the Persuade to Profit program, where I help business owners like you get to know your market better than they know themselves. And I am here with one of the first students of the program, Michelle Jackson. Michelle Jackson is a personal finance influencer. She is a podcaster, and she's also a lifestyle design coach. Behind the brand, Michelle is Money Hungry, which I love. I love the name.
You got to geek out over the fact that you want to make money. I've been broke before and it kind of sucks. So I was like, you know what? We're going to just own the fact that I want to make life-changing money. Don't want to marry like an 85-year-old to get it. So I'm going to earn it myself and kind of go from there.
Yeah, and I agree. I've been broke before too. Not ever going back there. And that requires being unapologetic about it. So I love that you're just like, boom, in your face about it. Like, I'm making money.
There you go.
All right, Michelle. So where were you? You went through the first round of the Persuade to Profit program. So when you and I were talking and I was like, hey, you might be a good fit for this. Like, what was going on in your business? What was going on in your mind?
Well, I had rebranded my business. It had a different name. No one understood what the heck it was all about, and I had been blogging under this name for a while. And actually, it wasn't really a business because I didn't have clients. I just had a concept of business. And then this year, I was like, I have a business. I'm rebranding. I'm doing all these things, and I was at the tail end of that process. And I thought, well, before I start launching my own coaching business, my own model of support for other online entrepreneurs, I think it would be worthwhile to work with someone who basically is paid to make sure that I get the information and support that I need to be successful. And the reason why I say it that bluntly is there's a point where doing things for free and like collaborating and talking with friends, there's a point where they're going to even think, well, I spent a lot of time learning this stuff, and I feel like it's something you need to be paying for. And I felt that way about the questions I wanted to ask. I was like, these questions, if someone asked me this question, I would want to get paid because it took me like 3 years to learn this.
Right.
So that's when I knew it was time to pay for coaching support. I will say I know you personally, and I know other people who've coached with you, and I was like, I am so freaking lucky with the timing. I feel like the universe was like, it's time to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And also that this was your beta program, because I was like, it's not going to ever be this inexpensive again. Like, I'm lucky. And I've had a wonderful experience. You've really helped me create a cohesive business from kind of top down, which was one of the things I was struggling with. You knew my brand before and after, and you were kind of like, I'm not really clear on what you're doing. And so you helped me create brand clarity and a cohesive model behind what I'm trying to do and who I'm trying to help. And that was really, really helpful for me.
Yeah, and I also help you guys, building the actual system, because one of the things that I've taken lots of programs myself, and one of the biggest gripes I always had was like, no one ever talks logistics.
Right.
Like how to connect the dots or how to put this together into like an actual system. So I wanted to make sure that you guys walked out with one based on research and empirical data and the things that you need to know in order to make money.
Well, it just, for me as a person, like, I'm spending money, like,
Right.
It's not necessarily cheap. And so I just didn't want to leave thinking, well, how, like, I still have questions because this wasn't clear. Mm-hmm. So for me, the Persuade to Profit was really clear about, this is what you do before you even begin to take actions to attract your clients. And once your clients are attracted, this is what you do. So it was very from pre to end. And so that was really helpful to me.
Right. So you also mentioned before we started recording, and this will be the last point, but you mentioned that you loved the community, right? So what was it about? Because I noticed in the beta round, I was like, whoa, like I've built something here in terms of like community-wise. Because in my experience, it's the mentorship, it's the logistics side of things, and it's also the support group that you have. So very quickly, can you say what it was about the community that really stood out to you, or why did you mention that before we started recording?
For me, I'm very community driven, and what I notice with a lot of these big programs is there is this community behind it. Some of the communities are way too large, and this is very special because it's the beta group, okay?
Right.
And so we had a very specific experience. Several people were affected by the hurricanes, but what I noticed with this group of women, it was basically all women in this group, they were invested in me succeeding.
Right.
And vice versa. We all were invested in one another succeeding at what we're doing. So even if we weren't working in the same type of business, which is the case, like we're all doing very different things, we would share a resource. We would cheer someone on. We would cheer someone up. And I think that it was like having a mastermind, actually. And I think that you can't state it strongly enough how important a mastermind experience is for an entrepreneur, especially if you're a single woman like myself. I'm in a mastermind, but now they're like family members. So it's a little tricky with that mastermind because they're like family.
Right. So another point that you brought up, and I know I said the last one, but 30 seconds real quick, was the fact that you had so much attention from me. And I kind of want to point out to people that if you want that, now is the time to get in, because as the group gets bigger, and it will, I may not be able to do that. So what was your experience being able to get that attention?
Well, I was just really lucky. So it was a nice tight group, but things were happening and life happened. But you showed up every single time that you absolutely could, with the exception of the hurricane in Miami, because that was crazy. But for me, every time that I was able to be on a call, you were there. If something was going on with the other ladies, but you were still there. And so I got a lot of one-on-one time with you, which really, like, I got more than what I paid for. Like, people, I can't even tell you, I got more than I'm so fortunate.
Yeah, I go above and beyond. And in the Facebook group as well. In the Facebook group, I'm answering questions, I'm answering your emails.
Too.
I'm on there, and I'm going to keep that going as long as I can. So if you guys want to get in on this program and that is something that's important to you, now is the time to get in. So Michelle, tell the people where you at, girl?
Where I'm at, I am at michelleismoneyhungry.com. I also have a podcast called Girl Gone Frugal Again, which I weirdly enough forgot the name of in another video we did. I also geek out about all things Colorado at coloradolovehub.info, and that's LUVhub.info, and a podcast called Square State.
All right. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.